Hi everyone, Johnny here. We're about halfway through the recording of Season 2 of The Thread of Gentlemen right now. Thanks to everyone who submitted stories for the show. If you haven't yet, you can still make it on to Season 2 by submitting your best stories to stories@thethreadofgentlemen.com. That being said, we thought we'd do a quick roundup of some of our favourite stories from Season 1. So please enjoy this special Best of Season 1 episode, and Jesus Christ, don't do any of the things that these guys have done.
Hello and welcome to The Thread of Gentlemen,
a podcast where we take a kamikaze dive into the best
and often worse tales the internet has to offer.
I'm Johnny.
I'm Ben.
I'm Charlie. And without any further ado,
I think we need to get this show started.
Okay, I'm nervous about this one. I'm nervous.
We are.
This is called The Day Terry Took It Too Far, Papa Shwartz. Okay, at my old secondary school in Hertfordshire, we were given the opportunity to choose to learn a language, French, Spanish or German. Having elected to do German, I was then introduced to the rest of the class, all from my year group, but many of whom I had not met before. One of these new faces was a boy called Terry. Very shy, small for his age, and with a great mop of white blonde hair that looked like someone who had done a bowel treatment on.
bowel treatment.
Bowel treatment.
There it is.
Done. Yeah. Okay. Bowel treatment. Jesus Christ. Terry was definitely the run to the litter. During our first German lesson, Terry sat at the back of the class as our teacher. Frau Best spoke in nothing but German and tried her best to keep the attention of a class of 30 kids. When called on, Terry would slump his head on the desk and keep quiet, barely speaking English, let alone German. My friend and I decided then and there that Terry must be one of those slow kids and carried on with our work. How wrong we were. A few days passed and the next German lesson rolls around. All the kids file in, followed by Frau Best, but there is no sign of Terry. We begin by reviewing the textbook, when all of a sudden the door flies open and in strides Terry. His grey school trousers rolled up above his knees, black socks pulled up high as they could possibly go, the leather straps from his school satchel fashioned into braces tied to his trousers and up over his shoulders. His hair slicked to the side in what can only be described as a very authentic Adolf style.
Oh no. Okay. Terry.
Hallo meine Kinder, ich bin Papa Shwartz.
Guten Tag, Papa Shwartz.
Oh, Terry, what have you done?
Terry, please. Thumbs pressed into his straps of his mock lederhosen. Laughter erupted from us all as Terry began to march up and down the rows of desks, inspecting our work, all whilst spurting out random German phrases. Oh yes, das ist gut, Mark. You had to give it to Terry, his accent was dead on. Of course, Frau Best didn't stand for this, sending Terry, Papa Shwartz, out of the classroom and full-on him for us all to overhear in an effort to stamp out the frankly weird behaviour.
I get that she's got to control the room, but come on, love. Like, this doesn't happen often.
Let it go.
Let it stew for a minute. Yeah. I mean, he's gone for the full character. Just allow him to, like,
there's a backstory there.
Have the moment, for God's sake.
But Papa Shwartz would randomly make appearances, usually when a supply teacher was due. But no matter how many times, it would lead to a good laugh and Terry could be escorted out of the room and receive another telling off. This story, aka the day Terry took it too far, as we like to call it, occurred at the end of term during our GCSE exams. 20 minutes into the hour-long German exam, we all sit in the large assembly hall, all in rows at our individual desks in total silence, whilst Frau Best and the other two teachers patrolled the rows. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Terry's hand raise above his head. One of the teachers approached, leant down to hit Terry, and then escorted him out of the room, probably to use the toilet.
Terry has a plan, I'm going to assume.
I'm pretty sure Terry,
nothing's accidental with Terry, is it?
A few moments passed in silence as we carry on with the exam. when suddenly there's a commotion outside the assembly hall. A clattering and crashing and a cry of, "Terry, don't you f***ing dare!"
Yes, Terry, dare.
I know what's coming.
Bam! The double doors of the exam hall are almost blown off the hinges as they are thrown wide in bursts of figure. Trousers rolled up above his knees, black socks pulled up as high as they could possibly go, leather satchel strap used as braces, and the blonde hair in its usual Führer fashion.
So he's gone full on Führer.
He's gone full on Führer. The crazy had only gone and pulled out Papa Shwartz for the final exam. However, there was two distinct differences that made this appearance of Papa Shwartz all the more shocking to those who witnessed it. Firstly, Terry had made the decision to strip naked from waist up, paint his face,
Terry.
neck, arms and torso entirely black, leaving his blonde bowl cut to stand out even more prominently.
It's like Rammstein.
Secondly, there was an addition to his outfit no one had seen before. Protruding from the flies of his trousers was a massive 15-inch red rubber hanging down past his knees and flapping around as he took off darting around the desks. He narrowly avoided the teachers who desperately attempted to wrangle him. One girl insists to this day that the dildo hit her in the eye and gave her conjunctivitis. Oh, Jesus. Papa Schwartz ist der Kinder, he screamed, his accent perfect as usual. Ich bin hier, something prüfungen mit meinem Rocken Mitglied zu bettwenden.
Beautiful.
I'm very sorry for all of the German
Sorry
people
for
out there,
everyone
all
that's
the German
German.
speakers.
Sorry for
Or
Mr.
Terry, for that
Nyman.
matter, because you butchered Terry's German. On his flawless German.
Well, you know, listen, do I do a GCSE in German? I don't think I do.
Cool.
Which Terry later informed us all translates to something like, "I'm here to evaluate your test with my red member." After much running, willy wrangling, and disruption, Terry was apprehended by the PE teacher, who initially attempted to remove the rubber but after giving it a few tugs, realised it wasn't going to budge.
I feel like at that point they're like, I think I might be making the situation worse.
All that she was doing was simulating off a minor, and rightly so, gave up, leaving it free to flail about. The last thing I can remember as they dragged him out from the room was Terry wailing, "It's the only way I can speak the language." And it was true. Terry couldn't speak German. But Papa Shwartz, sure as Scheisse, could. Terry was removed from the school soon after that. Terry, if you're out there and you hear this, do us all a favour and please clear one thing up that's left us baffled for the past 20 years. Where the f*** did you get that dildo from? Because you lived alone with your dad.
I mean, for Terry.
Yeah.
Terry, you're the hero of the day.
Oh,
But I'm actually more interested, like getting a dildo. Nah. What the f*** happened to Terry?
He's not living a normal life now. Is he?
I actually think his name is Bezos and he has just gone to space. Yeah.
The drop of a hat. Imagine the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Having horrible Vietnam flashbacks.
They're in the trees! There's like a gradient of horrible things that have happened to me, so I don't know.
You agreed to be on this for a start.
And then forget it, because nothing that has ever happened to you can be as bad than just what happened to be right now. Statement.
Yeah, all right. Big claim. I'm excited.
bold shout.
The floor is yours, sir. I went to the restroom and walked into a stool that wouldn't close. Good start.
Yeah.
I spent 5 minutes trying to lock it, and eventually I gave up and took my books from my bag and then used them to hold the door closed.
No, too much. There's a great technique of just kind of like sitting down on the toilet and then just leaning forward, hand on.
Actually, you're onto something.
Or legs.
There's
Yeah.
a great technique that I have is walking into a cubicle with the lock works.
Or just commit and just sit on there and be like, the door doesn't lock. If someone
Yeah, I feel like just
If
putting
someone
your
walks
foot
in-
out.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's
Oh,
gonna do.
saying
Get your
that,
nipples
though.
out. Make it a picture. You'll move.
I just like that's happened to me loads where I've walked into a store and gone no lock, and I'm like nope. It's a very easy decision to make.
Yeah.
So they've used books to make an elaborate door lock.
Okay. I'm getting a picture of this guy who's taking books in for a
Yeah.
Weirdo. I sat on the toilet so I could poop. I mean, I've been holding it in since 8 a.m. and it's almost 2. Ah, yeah, you're barking. I leaned back in relief and I noticed something fall off my head. My hat. That's the moment I knew I'd fucked up. The second it landed in the toilet, that's when my waist decided to free itself from its hole and fall right onto my hat. Poor hat.
How?
What type of hat
Like,
was
why
it?
is he just
Sorry, no. He can't be sat on the toilet first.
Well, I think what he's probably done is just gone like, and then like the thing's just like probably like, you know, bounced off the porcelain.
Or maybe if it's gone in like that. If it's like a cap.
It's a
So I was
beanie.
gonna say, like,
If it's
I'm
a
a-
beanie, that's going to easily slip between
Yeah,
the butthole
yeah,
and
yeah.
I was going to say, like, I'm a big guy. There's a pretty good kind of sealer around the, around the whole thing. But
See, instantly when they said about him bringing books in, I was like, fedora. It's going to be a fedora. The books is going to be about like modern alchemy.
Oh, it's Santana sent us a story.
So hang on, he's in his hat.
His hat, so I can see what it is. It's like, you know, the hat has fallen and then it's caught the poop. It's basically a baseball glove.
Jesus.
Yeah. Fair enough. He
Because they're
entered.
such f***ups.
You couldn't do that if you fucking tried.
I like it with like the full sense of like how this is going. I'm sure it will go wrong in a minute, but like I started stacking up books. The door won't lock. And then my hat. Okay. Left turn.
Oh, what a Kevin! What a Kevin!
So the second it landed in the toilet, that's when my waist decided to free itself from the hole and fall right into the hat. Now a cold bowl of piss and cotton. It's a beanie. I couldn't just leave my hat in the toilet. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes,
You flush it.
In fact, that was the only fucking option that
You give it a courtesy flush, so the fucking plumber's got something to do, and then you off into the wind.
because it's kind of like, or else it would clog up and make a bigger mess than before. Who gives?
But without you, not your fucking problem.
Abandon the situation, please.
Take
Please.
a photo, walk away.
Get out.
Brexit, it's out my hands.
It's like, and cause me to make a bigger mess than before, and possibly cause me to move to another country due to my embarrassment. Or if they don't find out, you're fucking up at every possible turn.
Why being embarrassed? Why embarrassed by that? Surprised.
Yeah, innit? Poop on a hat.
Yeah,
It's your fucking hat. It's a free country.
yeah.
That's like Morris dancing in other countries. Pooping on a hat day, you know?
I'd like to see people pooping on Morris dances.
Walk away from the fucking poo hat.
Yeah. That is not salvageable.
Away.
Poo hat.
The original, the OG poo hat. So guess who has to reach their hand into that mess? No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, absolutely not. The f***ing plumber. That's who.
Yeah, the plumber. Anybody else but you at this point
Yeah.
needs to not reach the hat. In fact, just f***ing abandon toilet. Me, he says. I grabbed that hat and crap into my hand and stuffed it into the tampon box. No, you're making this worse.
Yeah. Every f***ing step, he's f***ing this up.
It's not the worst day of your life. You are the worst day of your life.
I bet every day
This is
is
your
the same
own,
for this dude.
this is your own problem.
I wiped up all the with some tissues.
Why?
And got the hell out of there. No, should have got the hell out of there sooner. Literally every line that you're coming out with is annoying me. So got the hell out of that stall to wash my hands for a good 10 minutes. No, remove yourself. You're taking too long. Like the whole f***ing procedure is taking too long. I lost my at the drop of a hat. Lol. And it was honestly the worst day of my life.
That was really good.
Worst day of your life. If that is the way that you live your life, making those decisions, that is not going to be the worst day of your life. You have a horrendous story coming up until you die if you don't change your ways soon. Leave the hat. Leave the hat. Leave the hat. Leave the hat.
Okay, so this is called I Violently Shit Myself in the Middle of a Church Convention.
Longest ever Bond villain name.
I feel like this is going to be Ron Seal. It's going to do what it says on the tin. Okay, so
Just go in a completely different direction. I beg you.
my senior year of high school, I'd gotten a new girlfriend and I was totally in love with her. Me, her, my parents, and her parents had gone to a big revival service type thing at a huge church. Before this, though, we'd gotten food at a generic sit-down restaurant. In the travel time between the restaurant and the church, I felt the poop coming on. But I wasn't worried. I'd held it for longer in the past. However, the longer I waited, the more I realised that this was no ordinary poop.
It was no ordinary poop.
This
is God poop.
It's got its own jingle now.
By the time I got to the church, I could hardly stand f***ing hell.
I felt the power of Jesus running through my ass.
Yeah, he can walk.
Give me the brown.
And given the size of the church, it was a good 200 yards walk to the restroom. Ooh. About halfway there, the dam broke. And I don't know if you know what I mean, but once you start, you cannot stop. The only way to hold it was to stand still, but I couldn't make it to the bathroom. So now I'm stranded. Halfway between the car and the bathroom, in the middle of a f***ing church lobby, with already a good cup of shit in my underwear.
Okay, son, you know what to do at this point. You are in a church. Pray like you've never f***ing prayed before.
And he is right. There is no cutting off the shutters at that point. Like, what's
I don't know how do you, like, cutting off a poop is a hard thing. Cutting off a pee is a hard enough thing to do.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what this guy did.
I don't want you to.
He didn't do any of that.
I'm really hoping the answer would have been, I prayed and it all went away.
Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
At this point, I just send it.
That is the fucking best description.
Listen, in it for a penny, you're in it for a pound.
This is the thing, isn't it?
Come on, boys. Chewy, punch it.
Oh, Pan Solo, love it. Pooh-baka, that was way better. Right, anyway, let's try and get through this. Jesus, fucking send it. Right. So,
I just know that's what he was thinking at the time. He just committed to that so hard. Good for you. You're my favourite person sending the story so far. Oh, yes. America wins again.
So anyway, he does what he does, and I'm not saying it again. At this point, I just fucking send it.
So this kid's just in the street. It's just like, well, I've half shit myself.
Oh, that's just fucking
situation.
Oh, shit, I've got again.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, I'm not saying the line again. Right, but he does what he does. And then he starts walking as normally as you could towards the bathroom. All the while, a seeming fountain of diarrhea is pouring out of me. By the time I get to the stall,
Oh, God.
my underwear is completely ruined. Yeah. Soaked right up to my ballsack. And I'm stuck. Because it had also soaked through my trousers.
He's just in his Sunday bests. Fuck. You're so fucked.
I'm covered in shit. Yeah. Well,
shit. You're fucked. Fuck it. You're
sounds like a shit and a half.
Just leave.
Right, so he's soaked through his pants, he's soaked through his trousers, and he's covered in sweat. It is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, but you said it.
All the while, people are milling in and out of this bathroom because it's a massive church convention. In my desperation, I ditched the underwear beside the toilet, pull my trousers up as high as they could go, untuck my shirt, and dip out of the side door. At the same time, I text my dad to meet me in the car right now. Thankfully, he did meet me right now, and without asking any questions, He drove me to a local Target and bought baby wipes,
Nice.
a new pair of trousers,
Good dad.
and a new pack of underwear.
Bet you he still had some questions though.
I'm sure he knew exactly what had happened, but he never judged me, never laughed, or even asked questions. This guy is a better dad than me. 100%. I simply cleaned up as best I could, got dressed, and went back in and sat down beside my girlfriend to watch the service.
He got off pretty light at this point.
Yeah, it's not finished yet.
Okay.
After we'd gotten back in the car, my girlfriend's dad tells this story of going in the bathroom and finding the most horrid pair of underwear he has ever seen in his life. And what had looked like someone had missed the toilet extremely. He said it was the worst thing he'd ever seen in a church. Little did he know the culprit was sitting right beside him. Well, it's been 4 years since then, and although me and my girlfriend broke up, our families are still close, and the story of him finding the underwear comes up quite often. It's a running gag between our two families. I love my dad so much more after this experience, because every time throughout the years it comes out, he has never once exposed me. And to this day, the worst thing our families have ever heard of was perpetrated by me, and no one will ever know. F***ing hell, what a great story. What a great
For
dad.
him, mate. It's the
Great
Scarlet
dad.
Pimpernel but brown.
Right, one last time for posterity. At this point, I just f***ing send it.
Where you were going with that?
Oh, Jesus.
I love that though about this guy, that he's just like, I get f*** it.
It's out of my hands, it's with God.
He could have just relaxed.
Jesus, take the wheel.
He could have just let the poop out. Like,
But no, it's just.
but he's like, F*** it,
is
it's
what it
coming
is.
out. So
It is what it is.
he just put it into Mac f***ing 10, didn't he? No, our new catchphrase, by the way, is just send it.
Just f***ing send. Oh, that's a t-shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that with like Jesus next to it? With the thumbs up.
Like the Buddy Christ. Just send it. Oh, me.
Well, that's it, guys. That's it until season 2, anyway. I'd forgotten how good some of these stories actually were. Which story was your favourite? There's still time to get your stories in, so send them through to stories@thethreadofgentleman.com. Thanks, everyone, for listening from all over the world. And until next time, all the best.